Well, good morning, and great to be here. Thank you to the college band. That was fantastic, and a great way to get our bones ready this morning. And I note the gentleman behind me, we should have got you up singing, sir. Because I certainly could hear you. I think you would have been great up here singing the songs. Ladies and gentlemen, the program is a little different to what's in front of you today, because Mr. Bruff rang me this morning with a croaky voice and said he's coming down with a throat infection. It's a bit hard for a master of ceremony to speak without with a throat like that. So I'm doing a little bit, Mr. Height from Siena's done a little bit, and just so we've got everyone, particularly the students, on their toes, I've asked the college captains of Siena Catholic College they're going to read out the speech for all the award recipients. So no doubt there. Have you got the sheet yet, guys? Excellent. You're reading up and making sure you can pronounce all the names. Excellent. Can I just officially, though, and those of you who have attended these award ceremonies before, this is in our 4th year now. And this is all about recognising the great people that we have in the Kawana Electorate, whether it be our businesses, our schools, our sporting groups, our local senior groups, our air museums, whoever contributes to something positively in the community. And the great thing I like about these awards is these people that get these awards over the last 4 years are really the unsung heroes. They don't have to go through a whole process of these awards, go through a panel and score an amount of points to get these awards. These are local community heroes and champions that if anyone thinks that they're worthy of receiving the award, then they're nominating. And it's just great that when I met people coming in this morning, the surprises on some of the people's faces and saying that they don't deserve these awards, and I can't believe, one lady was at a committee meeting last week and the committee didn't even tell her that they'd nominated her for an award. That's the sort of positivity we like. I also love these awards because not only the surprises for the recipients, but sometimes for me. I met this morning a lady who I can't see where she's sitting in the audience, but I met some years ago, about 10 years ago, at Urbacher's. Put your hand up, where is it? At Urbacher's, fruit and vegetable shop, and I couldn't recall, I couldn't recall the face. Then she reminded me that I crashed into her at the front of Urbacher's 10 years ago and wrote my little Ford Festiva off at the time, and I remember that incident very, very well. As I said, the sore wrist I get at winter every year still reminds me of that particular day, but it was great to see you after all these years. Can I acknowledge some particular guests we have this morning? My parliamentary colleague, the Honourable Tracy Davis, Minister for Communities, Child Safety and Disability Service. Tracy, welcome to the Sunshine Coast. Great to have you here. And I thought, what better way to celebrate our community heroes than have the Minister for Communities come and meet our heroes, our local champions. So thanks, Tracy. We also have council representation today, which is just fantastic. Our local councillor, Christian Dixon. Thanks, Christian, for coming along today. We've also had the Deputy Mayor, Chris Thompson, also a councillor in the Kawana Electorate as well. And also we have Councillor Peter Cox. So Peter, Councillor, thank you very much for coming today. We also acknowledge Professor Joanne Scott, Executive Dean, Faculty of the Arts and Business at the University of the Sunshine Coast. Joanne won't remember, but you were a tutor of mine many, many years ago at the University of the Sunshine Coast. We also have senior staff and students from our relevant schools. And just before I do that, may I acknowledge the Honourable Mr Mayor that's just come in. So, Mayor Mark Jemison, thank you very much for attending today. If you can acknowledge Mayor Jemison, please. With our students that we have, hands up for our school leaders here. So we have a tremendous, we are very much looking at our student leaders and the great schools that I've got in my electorate. Ladies and gentlemen, I can assure you the future is in great hands. When I go around to all the schools, the 7 or 8 schools in my electorate who are represented here today, and just a testament to the future that we have when you have leaders like our school principals in the front row, hands up principals and leaders of the schools. So we've got representation from Merredin State College, we've got representation from Kawana Waters State College, Pacific Lutheran College, Bedina State School, of course our host school, Siena Catholic College. So thank you to all the principals and for bringing some students with you today so they can participate in the broader community that we have, and particularly recognising our local hero champions. And lastly, ladies and gentlemen, to all our guests, not only the award recipients, who we'll acknowledge in a short amount of time, but to all our family and friends of those recipients. They couldn't do their job without the family or the friendships that they support or the networks they have in their community group. So I think collectively we all need to give each other a large round of applause for helping one another and for the recognition of our award recipients today. Just prior to hearing a few minutes from the Honourable Minister, what I thought I would do is just remind people, if you haven't been to these awards before, these awards are in their 4th year. They not at a particular date, but we do try and have them around Queensland Day and Queensland Week, which is why we have the maroon bunting, although I've got the bunting out this morning and I think we need some new bunting. It's looking a bit, it's 4 years old now, and I think we should refreshen it up a little bit. But we try and do these awards around Queensland Week. One, because Queensland Week, unfortunately, has already been and gone, but we do celebrate Queensland Week. One, because we separated from the colony of New South Wales and became our own state, which is fantastic, particularly because we're about to win the state of origin. And there's only one club there. I hope there's more Queenslanders in the room than one person. Any New South Welshmen here? Other than me being born and bred in New South Wales, but anyway, my commiserations to you. One ought not get too cocky about these sorts of things, but I'm always, of course, barracking for the Queensland team. So we do it around Queensland Week to celebrate the separation from New South Wales, but also to, I don't think we give enough attention to Queensland as a state. A lot of Queenslanders actually don't know that we actually have our own flag, which I'm proudly displaying here, where we'll get photos in front of the recipients. And ladies and gentlemen, the flag is an interesting Queensland flag because we actually have the Maltese cross. And the history of the Maltese cross on the Queensland flag, if I ask people, why the Queensland flag has the Maltese cross, the best that the historians can tell us is that the governor at the time was married to a Maltese woman, and he had served as governor of Malta for a period of time. So that's the best historians can tell us how we've ended up with the Maltese cross on the Queensland flag. And of course the Crown represented the first flag that was designed for Queensland actually had Queen Victoria in the flag, embroidered. But then the designers of the flag and the government at the time said that it was going to be too hard to reproduce the flag on large numbers with the intricacies of Her So they thought the Crown was an easier and wouldn't change despite who was the monarch. So that's why we have the Crown, of course. So ladies and gentlemen, can I just thank all our members here today, the award recipients. You do an amazing job. You're not recognised enough amongst our community, but this is just a small little ceremony today that we can acknowledge the great efforts that our community has in. Because at every day of the week, ladies and gentlemen, as we go about our business and we go about doing what we do, there are volunteers and there are community members helping the aged, the frail, the young people, teaching our kids how to be the leaders of the modern world and tomorrow. That all happens. And I think it's a good opportunity today to bring that all together and bring all these great people together. So when the award recipients get their awards today, they'll have a little show bag from Parliament, which has got some things about the Queensland Parliament House, of course. They'll also get a very nice certificate that we've printed off for them, and a chance for a photo with me and the Minister Davis. So all in all, it should be a good morning. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we'll try and get through this as quickly as we can so you can partake in a very nice morning tea that we will have on the side here, sandwiches and all sorts of cakes and coffee.